For the first example for lesson 8, it says find the volume of the two rectangular prisms using two different formulas. So in lesson 7, we talked about the volume formula is volume equals length times width times height. So we're going to continue on with that, but then I'm going to show you a second formula that you might see or use when finding volume. For my first example, I have a length, I have a width, and I have a height. So I'm going to use the formula that we did from lesson 7, length times width times height. So I have 15 times, and instead of 1.5, I'm going to turn this mixed number into a decimal because a half is easy. So I'll do 1.5, 1 and 5 tenths is 1.5. So I'm going to multiply it by 1.5 and then times 3. And when I plug that into my calculator, I get 67 and 5 tenths, and that is cubic inches. So 67 and 5 tenths, or 67.5 inches cubed, because it's inches times inches times inches, which is inches cubed. That was nothing different from lesson 7. So we're going to continue that, but we're going to look at, well, how can I see it if I only have a height? And this here is the area of this rectangle. Okay. Well, if I'm thinking about what area is, to find area, my area formula is length times width. I want to find my volume. I've in the past said length times width times height. But if I combine these two, length times width is my area formula. So when they tell you that they found the area of this rectangle, what they're telling you is they already did the width times the length times width, and they found the area. So you want length times width times height? Well, they've already done the length times the width for you. So they found the area. Now you just have to multiply it by the height. So it actually shortens your formula because now you're just doing what they say, it's a capital B. That's the area of the base times the height. And that's where your second formula comes in. So this capital B stands for the area of the base of your shape. And the area we know is length times width. Okay? So I'm going to take this, I'm going to plug in my area of the base, which they told me was 23 and 4 hundredths. And I'm going to multiply it by my height, which is 20. And after I plug that in, I would end up with 460 and 8 tenths. And that is still inches cubed. And this over here, I covered it up a little bit there, but it says that this is inches, square inches. So it's already inches to the second because I did inch times inch, length times width, and then a third inch there. So it is going to end up being the same unit there. 460.8 inches cubed, or cubic inches. So I will do another example after this, but just a quick recap. We can still use this same formula, length times width times height, if we have a length, a width, and a height. If they give us the area of a rectangle, the base, they've already done the length times the width for us. We just have to take the area of the base, which is this capital B, and multiply it by the height. So we only have one step in that case. And then you'd have your volume there.